Here we are at the Durham Chapel Hill Boulevard Home Depot.
So, right here is where, you know, as I start about thinking about concepts and this quick service concept, Saltbox. I went to Home Depot, you know, and I like going to Home Depot because I like things that we make things and build things with.
Yeah.
I'm not good at building stuff, I'm not, but I do like the idea of I can go in here and find a piece of wood or a part or something and bring something together. But I went to the paint section and I'm looking at colors. And you know, sometimes you look through the color palette there with the little cards and you look inside, they usually have a booklet that has these specific colors that match each other.
Yeah. So
I looked in that book and what I saw was these sheds. All right, and I looked in the shed book, you know, and I saw the word Saltbox. Boom. That's where the name came from.
oh my gosh.
Okay, because you can buy sheds, right? And sheds, you know, stylistically, they call it a Saltbox shed because of the uneven roofs. So that's where that came from.
Wow. So what was shrimp boats like?
Oh, shrimp boats. Okay, that's part of the experience too. So for me, I learned about shrimp boat through some friends of mine, some high school friends or whatever, and people who had went to North Carolina Central and kind of went to shrimp boat, you know, while they were in school. You know, and a lot of people used to go there back in the day because that was the only sort of dinner house, if you will. You know what I mean? There was a movie theater right across the street from it that people tell me about. You know, and they said, man, we should go to the movie theater, then come to Shrimp Boat, and people from Chapel Hill should drive all the way from Chapel Hill to go to Shrimp Boat. Yeah, that was a, you know, place to go eat, you know what I mean? So, but for me, my experience was, I went there to get the chopped chicken sandwich. Now, Drew, let me tell you about this chopped chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
It was so straightforward, okay? It was so, not complicated, but it was so delicious the way it was handled. And I used to go there all the time to get that. All right, they did seafood, you know, but a lot of folk, their claim to fame from my perspective, you know, in my lens, was that chopped chicken sandwich. So Drew, as I drove past here coming to work every day, I always put out in the universe, if that place ever became available, that would be my next location. Yeah, I used to do that every day. Okay. Put it out in the universe. So,
what did you like about it, you know, physically? So,
you know, per my matrix of my original location, think about it. It was a single structure on the side of the road, not attached to a building, its own parking, you know, and it had a unique look. My wife and I, you know, had conversations too. You know, we enjoy. She's from the Northern Neck region of Virginia, and you know, we were having a conversation one day. She asked, "Man, where can I get a good fried fish sandwich?" Because we spent time in D.C. as well, and you know, there's areas in D.C. where you can go to the market and you'll have a food truck there frying fish sandwiches on white bread. And there's a place in D.C. called Horace and Dickey's. Okay, Horace and Dickey's is another famous sort of fried fish place, you know, in an urban setting over in the Howard University neighborhood. And that had been there a long time. We used to go there. So, you know, we just had this sort of like reference. We wanted to, you know, had a sort of like a reference point to fried fish. And I said, well, you know, let's go find out and see where people get, you know, fried fish sandwich at. And for me, you know, I didn't want to stray too far away from Calabash because that's regional. You know what I mean? You know, and that's the one thing I can immediately connect with the consumer about. Oh yeah, okay, he's frying this, you know, but I never wanted to reference that because I wanted them to come and experience something a little bit different. You know what I mean? And then that entailed the seasoning, the way I marinated things, the way I cut things, the way I, you know, serve things. You know, it's not necessarily too far from it. It's just, you know, in the style of what I wanted to do. And you know, people use the classical way of one paying homage to, or why a dish was created was a la. So I like to think that my stuff was a la Saltbox. The way I wanted to frame or bring my business to life, I needed to have it feel very neighborhood. And I think that activity of just physically going around putting a flyer put it in that context. Sure. That's what I think. Yeah. In DC and all these other places I work, no. But as a entrepreneur who happened to be a chef, who was excited about what he was doing, and all the other things I did that I never done as an executive chef in these other properties, it just made sense. It was natural. In the grand scheme of things, after all the time in the business and then studying and understanding, understanding why restaurants have sustainability. What's the reason why, a restaurant is open for a long time? Usually it's family run or a hometown feel. Why are they still open? What are they doing to make sure that people support them even during the bad times? I was only focused on North Carolina. Boom, this is what I got. This is what Saltbox is. We only cook and serve North Carolina seafood. Here's what it is. We don't do anything different. We don't try to go outside of that. We don't have something. We don't have something. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it all came to be. I wasn't trying to do anything. I wanted to keep it simple, uncomplicated. My first menu was basic. It was, during that time, I don't know, it was maybe 5 items. Five different items, and sides, and that's it. It was straightforward, man. I didn't. It was so primitive, and I thought about it. I said, well, if I simplify everything that I'm doing, I feel like it'd be easier for the consumer to come to me. So you think about Cheesecake Factory's menu, and I went the exact opposite way, right? I wanted to drill it all the way down to simplicity, like. Let's not overcomplicate this. Here's what I have for you, And then I would explain, and I wanted to explain, because I was here, pretty much by myself initially. I want to explain to them what I was about. And that was another part of my marketing, right? Face to face. The owner is here. The cook who's cooking your food is here. We can build something here. I can talk to you. You can talk to me. So I want to say to you that the reason why Saltbox was so well anchored, man, because I was there. I was there talking to the people. That was my marketing plan. Me being there every time they came, and I made a commitment to myself, and I wrote it in my business plan that I'm going to stay here for 5 years and never let anybody else cook but me. Period.